Brad, how are you? How pleased were you, with the defensive effort out in Ulster?
Yeah, no, obviously, I think it was another step in the right direction from us from a defensive point of view. It was probably our best defensive performance of the year in terms of a complete performance. But as a coaching staff, obviously, we're just bitterly disappointed with the result, and the result is in our game. As the result is the only thing that really matters. But from a performance point of view, and particularly our defence, I was definitely satisfied.
I guess you weren't jumping for joy with that penalty at the end?
No, we. There were a couple of penalties earlier in the game also that we gave him. We gave him a couple of ins in that area, and it's after pretty much a monumental effort from our guys and away from home against arguably the best team in the competition. To concede at the death was, like I said, really disappointing from our perspective. But those sort of penalties come and go in the game, and there's swings and roundabouts. And hopefully, we get a little bit of joy at some other stage in the season.
Well, what did you think of that penalty? Did you think it was a fair penalty?
I thought in terms of consistency of penalties given in the game, I think probably we're a shade unlucky. To be fair to the guy in the middle, he's got to make a split-second decision, and he's made his decision. I think we had opportunities not to put ourselves into that position, but unfortunately we got caught in that position, and we paid the price. But as a group of players and a staff, I think we were. I thought our effort was top drawer. I thought our set piece was great. Defensively, we were solid, and we asked a lot of questions of them in the opening 20 minutes. And on another day, we would have got the result. And I think in the wash up at the end of the season, it's going to be it's going to be an important point for us.
Justin put in 23 tackles. Again, that is a stupendous performance. Is he playing well enough to replace Warburton if Sam is injured come the autumn series?
I haven't seen enough of Sam to know what his form's like at the moment. Yeah, so I think looking at Justin's form at the moment, has he been good enough in the past to play 7 for Wales? I'm sure he has been, and I think he's in great nick at the moment. He's playing good footy. He's leading the team well defensively, and I think his performances so far to date have always been of above average standard. So I can't see why not.
If it is, and he has Alice Jenkins, then that would be the perfect trial match, almost, wouldn't it?
Well, I don't think Justin needs to have a trial match. I think he's got enough. He's got enough form on the board, and I'm sure the Welsh coaches are well aware of his strengths and weaknesses, and I'm sure he's going to be in there somewhere.
Tell me, the Blues have got Nick Williams as a sort of a key man in their back row. What's the best way to deal with him from a defensive point of view?
Probably be on the bench. It'd be nice if he was on the bench. No, he's a great player for him, and he gives him a lot of go forward. So, how you deal with him is how we deal with most other big ball carriers. We have to get in tight to him and try and nullify as much as we can his big ball carrying threat, and he definitely gets him on the front foot. And he's a guy that we don't necessarily need to target, but he's a guy that we definitely need to be aware of come Friday night.
Are you hoping Dan is going to be fully fit and ready to go for that game?
Yeah, absolutely. Dan's he's progressing well, and hopefully he'll come into selection and give Steve a few headaches in terms of the team he wants to pick come Friday night.
The chop tackle Nick Williams, that might be the answer.
Well, it might be the answer. He's got pretty big thighs the last time I seen, so pretty hard to get your arms around him. But like I said, they've got other threats in their team rather than just narrow it down to one player. There's going to be a lot of tasty matchups, I think, in this game in particular.
First Welsh derby, obviously, how much talk has been the two sides that have made the best start to the season?
None at all. No talk at all, really. I think the bookies have them down as favourites, and I think rightly so. And they've made a great start to the season, and for me personally, it's going to be my first taste of a derby, and I'm hoping that our fans and supporters really get down to the game, and Cardiff bring a few, and it gets nice and tasty.
Matt Sherritt's obviously been drafted into the Wales Rollers attack. I mean, what do you make of his work? What does he bring that's maybe a little bit different?
Oh, well, obviously, I've not seen him firsthand, but I know he comes. He's come highly respected from Bristol. I think the Cardiff attack stats are speaking for themselves in the way they play, and if you give them a bit of front football, and they're a good enough team that can really hurt you, especially in their back three players. So, he's doing a tidy job down there.
You talk about matchups. The matchup at number 10 could be good as well, with Dan Biggert against Gareth Anscombe.
Yeah, Dan or Sam against Gareth. I think again, there's no shortage of quality 10s in this part of the world, is there? So I think the matchups in the 9s, the matchup in the 10s, the matchup at 7s, the matchup at 8s. I think you can go through the list, and I think it's going to be a great game for. Touch wood, it's a great game for Welsh rugby and a great advert for the game in this part.